A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Why's That 3.0. And now, what we're going to explore is yet another question that does relate to my everyday life. So, of course, let's just talk about this one thing that I feel like also has an obvious answer to it. Why is that you choose to end certain content? Well, certain content, that could probably mean anything at this point. You could probably be talking about Nerf Secrets Revealed, which is probably one of the most obvious. An ending of a lifetime that I basically put together on that series, which eventually spanned off into something different. The fact is, Nerf Secrets Revealed ran for a total of about 7 years. That's a pretty long time when you think about it. But in 2013, when I ended this series, and I basically put it all together, Nerf Secrets Revealed basically ran from 2013 to 2020. And I certainly began it on a pretty high note, when I basically explored the so-called Top Secret Blaster lineup, which was based off of a Nintendo Wii game based on Nerf itself. But then, of course, as the series itself went on, Seasons 1 and 2 in general were at the time pretty big in terms of viewership. I started getting a lot of subscribers from here and there, attention started coming up. But then, of course, in May 2014, I exposed something that I never would have thought that would actually get so much attention. The Nerf Nuke. Yep, Geek Labs' own creation for spring 2014, which actually turned out to be an April Fool's joke. When you clicked on the page itself on their store, it just shows you an April Fool's joke. So it's technically a prank. And when I basically exposed this and I showed this to the world, oh my gosh, it was just huge. The viewership on that video alone was just massive. I would have never expected this to actually get that far. But even to this day, while it still might be racking up some views, I could have never figured that it would actually become this big. That's why I was destined to continue going. In 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018, I continued on with the traditional usage of ticker tape scrolling alongside the screen, posted above photos of various things in the background, screenshots and whatnot, some edited bits. But starting in March of 2019, I would utilize live action. I would put myself up on the screen, sitting on a chair in front of the camera, similar to what is happening right now with this video. But then, of course, just over a year later, after a few more seasons of putting it together, Nerf Secrets Revealed eventually ran to a point where some blockades would eventually prevent it from continuing any further. And after some loss of inspiration and creativity, plus all the constant editings and scraps and whatnot, I eventually decided to just close the book on that whole thing. And so, July 31st, 2020 became the ultimate end date for the series entirely. While I had considered doing it long before then, I felt that because of all the viewership I had racked up from the first 3 seasons alone, and eventually, while it might have dried off by season 5, I still continued going. I still ensured that I could make the series as good as possible. As good as I could make it. All the way to the very end. But even after summer 2020 had ended, I basically leaked a little insight. An insight that basically showed that I was prepared to continue the series where I left off. And in case the many things from 2019 that went in line with the original series didn't already help you, then the ending of Nerf Secrets Revealed Season 8 simply showed that I was ready to create something different. Yep. A movie. A full-length feature film adaptation based off of the long-running success of the series itself. And it came out only a few months after. on January 1st, 2021, it not only became quite a project for me to put together along with a lot of other people, the collaboration of tons of donations off my PayPal account, and then of course, with the assistance of hundreds of new people that I got to meet up with. And I'd say, while it might not have been a great film to put together, I still did have an unbelievable amount of fun. Utilizing car chase actions, ultimate shootouts with Nerf blasters, and just simple utilization of various cliches as well as a lot of pop culture references. But the biggest thing of all with Nerf Secrets Revealed, the movie, which its full title is Nerf Secrets Revealed Bolts of Intrigue, is basically the story of me fighting myself. How I came to be on YouTube, and how I could possibly overcome various situations, like losing my social media, which had in fact happened years prior. If you remember from many times, I've spoken about the so-called blackout period, a point in history where I had lost all contact with social media. And that was because of things that I had done. If I were to talk about any of this stuff in detail, it would most likely get my channel shut down for violation of the community guidelines, so I'll just put it simply that my channel was locked out, privated, and pretty much just prevented from any kind of access by me or anyone else who knew about me. I was technically banned from YouTube, but not the traditional way where the account would just be taken down, but simply put by my account being locked out. Password and credentials changed, and it remained that way for years, up until the point where I was able to find a trick. And I kept going with it, keeping it a secret as much as possible from anybody, not allowing a single hint of its existence to lure to other people, for the protection of it in the future. I did not want to lose years and years of hard work since 2008. That is a long time to go with a YouTube channel. Anyways though, while Nerf Secrets Revealed, the series, as well as the movie itself, as well as many other things that I put together for the franchise so far, they're basically just the icing on the dirt cake. Because there is so much more that I have planned for it. Another series which will basically involve all the projects that I have basically terminated mid-production or have just decided to scrap altogether. I'll finally get the opportunity to put that whole thing together, but it'll take some time to do so. Plus, I also plan on doing some more of Aftersought and Distance Gauge, two other series that I've put together. One that involves the utilization of a canonically made Invisibullet, a mod that is inspired by the likes of the illegal Nerf gun mod by Gun vs. Gun, which instead of putting a BB into a dart, it's a special technique that renders the dart invisible, therefore lessening its muzzle flash coming out of the blaster and allowing it to become more deadly. That is in fact canonically what is utilized in Bolts of Intrigue. So in case you hadn't already known about that, well, you're pretty much welcome there. Anyways though, that's pretty much just what I have to say about Nerf Secrets Revealed. As for any other content, if you've seen my latest installment of Why Is That, yesterday's video basically showed other such content that I've tried to do every single year. New projects and new ideas, Survival of No Limits, Multiple Wheels of Steel. Any of those could have been good ideas and they could have panned out well, but they didn't. And it's for various reasons. And so, I choose to end certain content, for the record, only because I can only do so much at a time. There's certain content that I keep around and certain content that I choose to just chuck away. All for the reasons of either preventing it from being milked dry or from any other kind of reason. I do not wish to make my content as crap as possible on the channel, but I also don't want my content to be found by other people and used for their own personal gains. So by trying to prolong a certain series and drive them over the edge, it just would not ever work well for me or for anyone else. And with that in mind, hopefully now you understand the whole deal of this. I wish to become more of a prospect than a washout on the channel, and possibly on other parts of the social network that currently exists. But no matter which way you look at it, there's lots of work I gotta do here. Lots of questions are still unanswered. But don't worry, I'll get to each and every one of them ASAP. So make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side if you'd like to see more.